live from Bob Rinn Stadium. You know what's better than one game? Two games. Yes, we got a doubleheader today between the Ohio Bobcats and the UIC Flames. Welcome into the broadcast booth. My name is Cedric Granger, and I'll be working with Quinn Elfers here today. We also have Ben Hamilton, our guest broadcaster, former Ohio Bobcat baseball player, who will be joining us at some point during the game. But we got the Bobcats and the Flames. We thought we were going to have a game yesterday, Quinn, but instead a rain delay happened, and unfortunately the Cats and the Flames had to move this game to today. But the good news is we got two games today, and both of these teams are chomping at the bit to play some baseball.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Both teams were really wanting to get out there last night. It was just a little bit of a rain delay, which kind of caused some issues with the start time. But both teams are excited to get out here. I definitely know UIC, they're ready for it after recently being in Texas. So the weather change, Coach McDermott was telling us that it didn't really affect them. They're just ready to get out here and play some baseball.
That's right. Both of these teams looking to play some baseball and be able to set their season off in a great way. First for the Bobcats, they are on a 4-game losing streak. So if they can win not only today, but maybe win twice today, that could help to put their season back on track. As for UIC, they're coming off of a road trip to Texas.
Yeah, definitely. And if Ohio wants to win, their really entire scheme relies on the arm of Jacob Tate today, the first starter for today's game, who recently had a rough outing against Campbell, letting up 7 runs in 3 1/3 inning. Definitely looking to change it up. Definitely looking to get some momentum for the Bobcats and get that first win to snap that losing streak.
Yeah, Tate, he's going to be a pitcher that really tall, lefty, and he's going to bring a lot to the Bobcats. He earned the Friday starting position for this week because Coach Moore, he said the emphasis this week is building momentum, and he believes Tate can bring that here on the Friday. But even though it's not a Friday game, this is essentially like being the Friday starter, having game one of the series. But when we come back, we'll have starting lineups and first pitch right after the break. You're watching Ohio Baseball on Ohio Bobcat TV. Welcome into Bob Rinn Stadium as we're just about ready for baseball as the Bobcats take on the Flames of UIC. Let's jump into the starting lineups. First for the visiting Flames, Zane Zielinski, the shortstop, is batting first today, while A.J. Taylor bats second. Jackson Bassett, he's on a hot streak, batting .467 on the campaign. He will be batting third. Kendall Ewell, a star in the Northwoods League, will be batting fourth. Rafe Peterson will be batting fifth. A.J. Hinkle will come in batting sixth. And then to close out the lineup, 7, 8, 9 is Pombo Nicoludis, James Harris, and Carson Roberts to round out the lineup for the UIC Flames. 4-4 on the season, 0-1 on the road. So looking for that first road win of the season. Now defensively for the Ohio Bobcats today, it'll be Jackson Cawthorn doing the catching while Wes Lugg is at first base. Your middle infield is made up of Alex Finney at second and J.R. Nelson at shortstop, while Taylor Gill's on the hot corner at third base. And then in the outfield from left to right, it's A.J. Roush at left field, Gideon Antle in center, and Paulie Mancino, the freshman, gets the start in right field for the Bobcats, who are coming in with a 2-4 record, having lost 4 in a row, but they'll look to change that today, and they got a pitcher on the mound looking to give a solid start. It's the left-handed pitcher, Jacob Tate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not hard to spot him. He's 6'6" out there on the mound, throwing heat all the time. This guy is looking to definitely recover after what was a rocky start against Campbell, but hopefully here he can regain some of his momentum that we've been talking about, and get the Bobcats the win.
Yep, Jacob Tate, wearing number 19, 0-1 on the season, the redshirt senior. Deals the first pitch to Zielinski, and he fouls that one off backwards for strike number 1, and we're underway
Zielinski,
at 12:02.
Zielinski's trying to attack the pitcher early, trying to get him maybe a bit flustered early, so that's interesting to see.
Well, Quinn, Coach Moore really said that for his pitchers, they can't be afraid of contact. Guys are going to be able to make hits. They're going to make swings on you. The goal is to force the weaker contact, and that'll be the goal for Jacob Tate, originally from Louisville, Tennessee. Brings a fastball at 87, a curveball at 64 to 68, and a changeup at 69.
A lot of variety there.
The 0-2 home. That one's high and away for ball number 1. Zane Zielinski, shortstop, batting .355 on the campaign. He's off to a red-hot start for the Flames.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at Zane, leadoff hitter, obviously expected to carry amount of that first inning momentum. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
1-2, skies upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes at Bob Rinn Stadium. First of 3 games between these two teams, UIC in their powder blue alternates today, red batting helmets, Bobcats in their cream and green caps. 2-2 pitch. That ball flared in the air, deep to center field. Gideon Antle at the track and makes the catch.
Zielinski testing the length of the field early with a very nice shot deep to center field.
So 1 up, 1 down, but a decent at-bat there for Zielinski, keeping it competitive. And now here comes A.J. Taylor. 1 away in the inning, nobody on base. Top of the first, no score between Ohio and UIC.
Taylor also having a strong start to the season, batting .350 with 7 hits, 3 runs. Looking for his first homer of the year, though, so we'll see if he gets it with this at-bat.
Tate's first pitch, breaking balls in there for a strike. Count is 0-1 to A.J. Taylor. One kick deal on the 0-1, and that one skied to shallow center field. Actually, no, a little bit deeper in center field, but Antle makes the catch.
Back-to-back, great contact from UIC, but yeah, as you were saying, Coach was Coach is telling the players not to be afraid of contact as long as it's not home run hitting contact. But UIC is so far testing the limits of Tate.
So a pair of F8s to start off this game, and this brings us to the player to watch for UIC, Jackson Bassett.
Yeah, leading the team in batting average, like hits. He's a guy who can do it all for the Flames.
Yeah, the first pitch finds the inside of the zone for a strike. Count is 0-1 with 2 away in the top of the first inning. No score between the Bobcats and the Flames. Bassett is a sophomore catcher from Bartlett, Illinois. 0-1, fastball hitting the air. That one is into right center field. Finney calls it, makes the catch, and that is 3 up, 3 down to retire the side. Good start for Jacob Tate, and the Bobcats will grab the bats for the bottom of the first inning. When we come back, you're listening to Bobcat TV. Welcome back to Bob Rinn Stadium, bottom of the first inning, where we have no score here in Athens, Ohio. And we'll go over the batting lineup for the Bobcats. It'll be Taylor Gill leading things off for Ohio, batting 267 on the year. He's playing third base. Alex Finney is batting second for the Bobcats, coming in with that 300 average. He's doing really strong at the beginning of this year. Cole Williams bats third for Ohio. Gideon Antle is in the cleanup spot. Jackson Cawthorn bats fifth for the Cats. Paulie Mancino sixth. And then AJ Roush, Wes Slug, and JR Nelson. They're the 7, 8, 9 in the order today for the Bobcats.
Yeah, I got to watch out early if your UIC is Gideon Antle. He is on a red hot start, batting 571 early on with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 doubles so early in the season. He's definitely on pace for a tremendous season.
We'll see if Dylan Schuler, the starting pitcher today, the sophomore right-handed pitcher standing at 6'2", if he's up to the challenge against these Bobcat bats.
Yeah, Dylan Schuler, he's not a man to back down from a challenge. He got a win over Kansas in the season opener for the Flames, so he can definitely pitch when it matters.
Yeah, very impressive by UIC in that opening series against the Jayhawks. The first pitch swung through and missed by Taylor Gill for strike number one, as they took 2 out of 3 against the Jayhawks, winning 11-9 and 13-9. The bats were humming for UIC.
Great momentum early on in the season.
The 0-1 pitch, and that's there for a strike as well. Good work by Schuler, getting up in the count early.
Yeah, Taylor Gill looking to control those strikeout numbers. Already has 9 on the season, hoping to keep it down with this at bat.
Here's the 0-2 for Schuler. That one flared foul, and the count remains 0-2 for Taylor Gill. 267 batter, 6 RBI, and does have a home run. So despite the strikeout numbers, he's taken his chances, and it's been able to benefit him a couple of times. Here in the leadoff position, looking to get back in the count, the 0-2. That one hit in the air over to right field. Kendall Ewell gets underneath it and makes the catch for an F9.
So far, the bats are buzzing for both teams. Both teams with great contact. Just fortunately finding the gloves of the opposing outfielders.
It is. They're going to be playing 18 innings today, so getting the bats humming early, that could be a good way to start, or you're at least seeing the ball decently well.
Exactly. No strikeouts early, no groundouts, just straight flyouts.
Here comes Alex Finney for the Bobcats. Next pitch dialed in for a ball.
Great eye there from Finney.
Yeah, just missed inside on that one. Count is 1-0 to Finney.
Finney looking to get his first hit in his last 2. He's been hitless for his past 2 appearances, looking for some sort of hit here to spark a Bobcat early lead.
1-0 is upstairs to Finney, the 5th-year senior, originally from Oxford, Michigan. Player that has seen increased playing time with each season.
Yeah.
2-0 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed for a strike.
Yeah, Finney has been somewhat of a consistent starter, especially in this younger Bobcats lineup. He's been one of the veteran leaders definitely down the stretch for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Quinn, that's something we talked about with Coach Moore's, the 2-1 breaking ball that time, swung on and missed for a strike. But, yeah, there's a lot of young guys in this lineup, but if you can sprinkle in some of those more experienced players as well, that could really pay dividends, especially defensively when it comes to communication. The 2-2, fastball swung on and missed for a strike. Number 3, first strikeout of the day for Dylan Schuler.
Great location, great speed to just get Finney off of guard.
Chalk up a K there for Schuler. Coming off of a game where he pitched 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts in his last start. But he went through 5 innings in his first start against Kansas. Looking to have a strong start today, especially when you got to get through 18 innings. First hit for Cole Williams, or first pitch, I should say, is flared into left field, and that's caught by Carson Roberts, and that retires the side. These pitchers working quickly to start the game. 1, 2, 3 innings on both sides. No score as we head to the second inning. You're watching Ohio baseball on Ohio Bobcat TV. Welcome back to Bob Rinn Stadium. No score as we begin the second inning. Due up for the Flames in this frame: Kendall Ewell, Rafe Peterson, and A.J. Hinkle, the 4-5-6 in the order. Working against Jacob Tate. His first pitch breaking ball is high and away for ball number one. We got some great coaching staffs on both sides. We got to talk a little bit with each coach. First for UIC, Coach McDermott. He's been around the program for a long time, but head coach since 2021.
Yeah, he's been involved with UIC since 1998, 25 years of impact. Talking to him seems like a really personable guy, really great guy to be around. So I definitely see why he's stuck around so long at UIC.
Yeah, they've maintained great relationships too with some of their famous alumni. The count is 1-1 to Ewell. Check swings at that one, and he did go on the off-speed pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Great pitch there by Tate to get him swinging or get him hesitating on the decision there.
Ewell off to a red-hot start to this season. We're going to say that about a lot of players today. 394 average, but down in the count, the 1-2 doesn't take the cheese at the upstairs pitch.
A lot of great hitters so far for UIC. 6 players currently are batting over 300 in a short season so far. So hopefully they can keep up that momentum as they get into conference play and just down the season.
2-2 pitch from Tate. And that one's fouled backwards to stay alive. Ewell played in the Northwoods League for the Green Bay Rockers. And they won a championship over there, and he was one of the key reasons why. He had a bases clearing double against the Traverse City Pitspitters in the Great Lakes Championship. The lefty deals the 2-2. Now one's low to run the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to the 6'3", 215-pound outfielder.
Yeah, Tate already in a bit of ball trouble here, maybe a bit of walk trouble. He's normally not known for letting up too many walks, only having 2 so far in the season, 1 in each start.
And right on cue, there is a walk. Good at bat there for Ewell.
I gave him the commentator's curse right there, unfortunately.
Welcome. I mean, hey, whenever you start broadcasting, that's something that can become a trend every once in a while. But Coach Moore for the Bobcats, he really described how the thing he wants to see from his pitchers this weekend is to limit the free passes, if you can, be able to limit the walks and limit the hit by pitches, because that's something that really hurt them against Campbell.
Yeah, exactly. He was also talking about momentum, about how Ohio's offense is great at getting momentum, but the pitching staff is not the best at keeping the momentum. Hopefully, Coach Moore can see some improvement from his pitchers so far.
Ray Peterson swings through the first pitch breaking ball. Third baseman batting .375 on the campaign, already at double-digit RBI. He's got 10.
Very impressive so early in the season.
0-1. That one misses the zone outside. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike to Peterson. 1 man on. It's Kendall Ewell at first base. No score in the top of the second here at Bob Rinn Stadium. One offering. On the ground to the left side, fielded by Gill. Throw down to second base for 1. The relay back to first in time for the double play.
What an amazing glove there by Gill, who was able to recoup that rocket fast grounder, get the easy double play, making it look very easy out there.
So a 5-4-3 double play retires Peterson and Ewell, bases clear, and 2 away in the frame, and that's got to be great for Tate. Defense making a play behind him, and that's also what we talked about, that weak contact that can lead to plays like that. As here comes A.J. Hinkle. He swings through the first pitch. Hinkle's batting .219 on the season with 8 RBI for UIC. Against the University of Illinois at Chicago. The 0-1. Fastball just misses the zone outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got to see A.J. Hinkle in the Northwoods League as well. You're going to see me name dropping that as well, because that was one of the best leagues out there. He played for the Rockford Rivets. Next pitch inside. 2 balls, 1 strike, right near the feet.
Yeah, Tate definitely losing a bit of control there.
Just misfired down a breaking ball. It happens.
Yeah, fair enough.
2 away in the frame. Here comes the 2-1. That one drilled over to left field. A.J. Rouse pushing back, and he's going to look to see that one go. Goodbye baseball for A.J. Hinkle. His first home run of the season.
Yeah, there was no doubt about that. The second he left the bat, you saw A.J. Rouse just do nothing but stare and watch.
A 2-out solo bomb for A.J. Hinkle, and that's some good momentum there for UIC, and they lead 1-0 here at Bob Wren Stadium.
Definitely a bit of a bummer for Tate, who's looking to get another 1-2-3 inning. Hopefully he can recoup and get the easy out here, or just an out.
It won't be an easy out as here comes Pombo Nicoludis. Down as 1 ball, no strikes. Some good energy from the UIC dugout. They absolutely erupted as soon as that line drive came off of the bat. The 1-0 home. That time it finds the top of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tate keeping great composure despite letting up the shot. Definitely that's what you want to see in a pitcher, especially your ace.
Yeah, that's what Coach Moore said. He said, like, hey, you're going to give up hits. You're going to give up runs. The Bobcats did give up their fair share of home runs against Campbell and against Lipscomb, but it's just 1 run, and it's still early on in the game as both of these teams have electric offenses, so we were expecting to see some fireworks. 2-1. That one hit opposite side and foul.
It was fair for a second. It just kept on tailing out, eventually leading for the foul ball.
Nicoludis is a freshman from Naperville, Illinois.
Yeah, batting 444 early in his limited playing time. Definitely what you want to see. Already has a home run on the season. Great numbers so far from the freshman.
Chance to get out of the inning for Tate. Breaking ball just upstairs to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count runs full to Nicoludis. Here's the payoff. That one lined over to right center field, and that ball's down for a base hit. Nicoludis with a 2-out single and making back-to-back hits for the Flames.
Finding the perfect gap in between center and right field to get an easy single there.
So here we go. UIC starting to pick up a little bit of steam, and James Harris will look to continue that. The Flames team that's excited to get back home after this game. They will have their longest homestand of the year, spanning 12 days.
That must be very nice, just knowing home is on the horizon. You just got to get through this one weekend, and then you're back in your dorm, in your apartment. Very familiar area, so it'll be nice for the Flames.
Yeah, very familiar area indeed, and they recruit the area of Chicago very well. James Harris, a great example of that, as he'll put another charge into one. That one's over to right center field. Antle makes the catch on the track, and that retires the side with 1 left on the base pass, but not before UIC could take the lead. And A.J. Hinkle solo bomb to left center field. The Bobcats will look to respond in the bottom of the 2nd inning, 1-0 UIC. You're listening to baseball on Ohio Bobcat TV. Home half of the 2nd inning here at Bob Wren Stadium, and the Flames have taken a 1-0 advantage as the Bobcats will look to answer the 4, 5, 6 in the order. Antle, Cawthorn, and Mancino for the Bobcats.
Yeah, watch out for Antle to make an impression early. This guy can hit and hit hard. .571 average on the season, 2 home runs already. This guy's not afraid to swing for the fences.
Not at all, as the count is 1-0 to Antle. Schuler dials the next pitch, and that one's popped in the air. May have a chance to stay in the infield, but it does not, or stay in the field of play, I should say. And it goes foul right off the top of the dugout of the UIC Flames. Already a really good start here for Schuler. Coach McDermott really talked about, hey, he needs to attack that zone today. That's what he wants to see his pitchers doing.
He's been doing a pretty good job already. Already recording a strikeout early on in the first.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one popped in the air once again. Bassett looking for it, tracking it down, and just goes foul. It went right over the net. And if it was maybe 1 feet, a little bit closer to where the dish is, it would have been a pop fly.
Crazy how just they say football's a game of inches, but so is baseball in some aspects. That's a very great indicator.
Quite a bit.
Great example there.
Bases clear, 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody away in the inning. Here comes the pitch from Schuler. That breaking ball is low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Schuler's originally from Rock Falls, Illinois. Going against Gideon Antle, the center fielder, the 2-2. Put on the ground to the left side. Ooh. Nice diving play by Peterson. The throw down to first base, the stretch, and he was off of the bag.
Wow.
Infield single for Gideon Antle, and the Bobcats have their first hit of the day.
Yeah, Gideon Antle with the hustle despite the ominous-looking situation. That shows why a hustle pays off there.
A decent attempt there by James Harris at first base to try to stretch after a nice diving play by Peterson, but UIC not able to finish that off. It is officially a base hit, so Gideon Antle continues his strong season, batting close to 600.
Wow, you don't see that much. 600 average. It's very impressive.
Very impressive indeed, as Cawthorn takes the first pitch fastball upstairs.
Cawthorn also having a great season so far, batting .357. Recently just notched his first career home run, maybe looking to add on to that total.
Sure looks in the 1-0, waved at and missed for a strike.
Yeah, swing like that, you can definitely tell he wants to go for the fences, maybe give Ohio the lead after UIC notched a home run in the first, or the top second.
Bobcats overall, though, philosophy more about moving guys across the bases. The pickoff attempt down to first base, not in time. But hitting a lot for contact, trying to go gap to gap, and finding ways to move guys around the base paths.
Yeah, whatever gets runs in, that's what they're looking for.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball. The throw back down to first. Ooh, ever so close, but Antle slides in safe. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. And nice work there by Bassett. He's got a cannon back there behind the dish.
Yeah, great awareness. See Antle's a little bit off the bag, trying to get something almost at him, but just a bit short.
Little lead off for Antle at first base, and Schuler up in the count. Deals the 1-2. Runner goes, pitches the ball to throw down the shortstop, and in time.
Oh, my goodness. Bassett, you said with the cannon, he got there way before Antle.
Nice cover by Zane Zielinski. That ball was right on the money.
Yeah.
And just like that, 1 away in the frame.
It's getting UIC's dugout definitely buzzing a little bit there.
Counts 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jackson Cawthorn now with the bases empty. Righty on lefty matchup. And here's the 2-2. Popped in the air and foul back towards the field hockey field to our left.
I wonder where those balls go that just go flying out.
Some become souvenirs, some get refiltered in. We have me and my friends every once in a while, especially when we were younger, we'd come to some Ohio baseball games and try to get some souvenirs if we could.
That's awesome.
2-2. And that one's popped, or just fouled, I should say, to the left side towards the on-base, or on-deck circle, I should say, for the Bobcats. And the count remains the same, 2 balls, 2 strikes. To Jackson Cawthorn, 5'11" junior from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah, he's picking up momentum. He was out of the lineup the first 2 games against Lipscomb, but he's cemented his spot as the starting catcher for the Bobcats. You like to see that.
Yeah, some really good competition for catcher.
Yeah, a lot of very capable guys behind the pitch, but it's nice to see Cawthorn stepping up and showing out.
1-0 UIC. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that's fouled backwards. A very competitive plate appearance here for Cawthorn.
Yeah,
Batting .357 on the year, 7 RBI, and does have 1 home run.
yeah, whatever can get. I think at this point, Cawthorn's just thinking, I want to wear this pitcher down. Get Schuler, get Schuler a lot of pitches with another foul ball.
Yep, that was a fastball that time, dialed up by Schuler, but Cawthorn reads it again and refusing to go down here. 2 hits for UIC early, 1 hit for the Bobcats. That was earlier in this frame. We're in the bottom of the second, 1-0 lead for UIC. And here's the 2-2. Fastball inside. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ever so close there.
Had a lot of
Cawthorn stays alive.
Had a lot of heat on that.
In comes the payoff. And once again, fouled out of play. This has become a double-digit pitch at bat.
Grueling at bat. If I'm Schuler, I'm thinking I want to get out of this as soon as possible. Don't want to get up there in the pitch count. Hope maybe and get taken out a bit earlier than I'd want to.
Yeah, that's the biggest benefit for these long plate appearances. This is why Coach Moore, I'm sure he'll be very happy about this plate appearance, just to get some wear and tear on the arm and maybe wear out the starter a little bit. Here comes the payoff. That one's outside, and there's a well-earned walk for Cawthorn.
Yeah, Cawthorn testing Schuler early with a great eye, great swing. Just everything was going right there for Cawthorn.
So here comes Paulie Mancino for the Bobcats.
A freshman making a great impression early. Had 2 doubles Saturday versus Campbell, so maybe looking to see some more action there.
Takes the first pitch for a strike on the inside part of the zone. Count is 0-1 to Mancino, 1 runner on and 1 away in the bottom of the second inning. Schuler gets his sign and deals the 0-1. Throw down to first base, and tag is not in time. Count is evened up, 1 ball, 1 strike, but Bissett, he's really making his presence known. He's telling the Bobcats, hey, don't you dare run on me.
Yeah, Bissett already got the pick off at second, feeling a little bit confident, I'm guessing, so I don't blame the decision to throw to first.
Schuler dials up the next pitch, and that one popped in the air. This one should stay in the infield. Now it's all about communication. Ray Peterson, the third baseman, makes the catch for the Flames. 2 up, 2 down, or 2 down in 3 plate appearances, I should say.
Yeah, you're talking about communication down there. There's been countless MLB plays where communication doesn't work for those easy infield flies that turn into just a catastrophe. So very nice for the Flames to have that coordinated.
Here comes A.J. Roush, the left fielder for the Bobcats.
This guy can rake. He hit 2 home runs in a single game in his last time out against Campbell.
So we'll see if Schuler decides to utilize some more breaking pitches or keep it lower in the zone to try to avoid that. Count is 1 ball and no strikes after the first pitch breaking ball.
Yeah, Roush already 10 RBIs in the season, 7 runs. This guy can score, and he can score via the run or score via the hit.
And he's also quite the Iron Man for this Bobcats team. He has over 100 starts in his Bobcat career.
He's been a consistent starter since 2022, which was his redshirt freshman year.
1-0 pitch. And he puts a good charge into that one over to center field. But A.J. Hinkle is there, makes the catch, and retires the side with the runner left on the base pass. The Bobcats get their first hit, but not able to bring him home as UIC holds a 1-0 lead as we head to the 3rd inning. You're watching Ohio baseball on Ohio Bobcat TV. Welcome back to Athens, Ohio, where the Flames have a 1-0 lead over the Bobcats, and Jacob Tate getting ready for his third inning of work at the mound. And Quinn, so far we've seen his career path be pretty interesting. He had some time as a starter and also some time in the bullpen.
Yeah, Coach Moore was telling us that, it's not about what's best for the individual, it's what's best for the team. And he saw Tate as more of a relief guy last season, but it's nice to see Tate finally cementing himself as a number one starter for the Bobcats.
Yeah, he's really earned that opportunity. 6'6", redshirt senior pitcher will face off against the 9-1-2 in the order. Carson Roberts, Zane Zielinski, and A.J. Taylor. We start with the first pitch plunking off the shoulder of Roberts, and that's a free pass.
Roberts,
runner on.
Roberts brushed that off. That looked like it could have hurt there.
So we turn over the lineup card. Back to the top with Zane Zielinski.
Yeah, we were talking about Coach was wanting to avoid those hit by pitches that just get guys on base easily. Definitely not what you want to see if you're Coach Craig Moore.
Well, in terms of Tate's starts this year, has done a decent job of keeping the walks down. 9 strikeouts to 2 walks going into this game. First pitch is inside and low on the breaking ball to Zane Zielinski. He had a fly out the last time he was up to center field, but made good contact. Tate takes his time and fires on the 1-0 pitch, and that one's on the money for strike number 1. One runner on for the Flames, and Carson Roberts, who's at first base, and a 1-0 lead for UIC, thanks to an A.J. Hinkle solo home run in the top of the second.
Yeah, Roberts looking to maybe get a few more feet off that ball that he hit in the first inning. That was dangerously close to being another home run for the Flames.
Change up. Get Zane Zielinski to swing and miss. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. So here's an opportunity for Tate. Has his whole pitching arsenal available to him here. The 1-2. He attacks right down the middle, and that one popped in the air over to right field. Mencino pushes back, and he can watch it fall over the fence for another home run for UIC.
Oh, my gosh. I was just saying he wanted to add a few more feet. Maybe a right location helped him, too, with the home run.
I'll tell you, we were hearing from our friend and colleague Ben Hamilton, who played Ohio baseball, and you'll hear from him a little bit later in the broadcast, that baseball seemed to just carry at this ballpark. That one looked like it would just pop and maybe stay in the outfield, and it just kept carrying and carrying and carrying and gone.
Looked like it had wings there for a second. Just kept on going.
So a 2-run shot for Zane Zielinski, his first home run of the season. And UIC is cooking here in Athens. 3-0 advantage in the third. We're back to A.J. Taylor.
A.J. Taylor also had another dangerously close home run in the first inning.
And he'll put one on the ground to the left side and foul. Yep, that is correct, Quinn. Taylor had a fly out to center field the last time he was up. So already 2 home runs today. As we saw earlier, that was kind of a hint of what was to come, Quinn, where we saw a couple of fly outs where UIC, they made great contact, and if they get a good hold of it, they could find the jet stream. They found one in left center, and they found one in right center.
They've been playing very aggressive, especially early in the count. It seems like both those home runs came rather early in the count, as there's another great hit.
Yep, 1-2 drilled in the air to right center field. And Gideon Antle makes the catch. No carry on this one. And Taylor goes down on the F8.
Must be a relief for the Bobcats not having to deal with back-to-back home runs.
So with 1 away in the inning, this takes us back to Jackson Bassett. UIC team that started off their season against the Kansas Jayhawks, taking 2 of 3. First pitch, a little bit off speed there, and that's for strike number 1. Yep. And then follow that up with a loss to Incarnate Word and Lamar. Tough back-to-back stretch there. And then win against Houston Christian. A loss against Creighton, which is where the Bobcats coach, Craig Moore, used to coach at. And then a win against North Park 8-5. Yeah, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just looking to establish some consistency. Loss, win, loss, win. Hopefully looking to establish maybe a winning streak here.
Here comes the 1-1 from Tate. Once again, the off-speed stuff is working. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Great pitch led to a beautiful swing and a miss.
Yeah, Bassett led the way for the UIC offense throughout this season. He ranks first in the Missouri Valley Conference in batting average. The 1-2. Breaking ball this time didn't get enough break on it. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Bassett making plays on both defense and offense. The great pickoff early in the second to take away Gideon Antle, and now seeming to be really aggressive on the plate.
Had a pop fly the last time he was up, the 2-2. Fastball on the ground to the left side. Nice diving attempt by Gill. Can he get it to first base in time? No, it can't be scooped up by Wes Lugg. And instead of going for extra bases there, Bassett calmly goes back to the first base bag. And that will more than likely be an E5 on the Bobcats.
Yeah, a bit of trouble throwing the ball from third to first for both sides. Both sides not being able to get the rounders early on.
Yeah, it was some fantastic effort, nevertheless, by Gill, losing his hat on that dive in the infield. Nevertheless, another base runner on for UIC. This takes us up to Kendall Ewell, the cleanup hitter for UIC. Tate's first pitch on the ground to the left side through the glove of Gill. Gill tries to corral himself, and he's got no throw.
Taylor Gill getting picked on, it seems, at third base. Two straight hits to him, unable to get the out both times.
So Ohio, when they talked about the philosophy, they talked about how pitching and defense is what determines games. And right now, the defense, going back to what happened a little bit against Campbell, where the Bobcats committed 6 errors throughout that 3-game series.
Yeah, hopefully trying to keep the errors down. Not looking good so far early in the game.
So this takes us to Rafe Peterson with all the opportunity in the world, 1 away and 2 on. And the first pitch off speed is low and away for a ball.
That's low.
Peterson hit into a double play the last time he was up, a 5-4-3. There's a nice play earlier by Taylor Gill.
There's a little bit of a foreshadowing there with 2 guys on first and second.
1-0. Popped in the air into shallow right. This one could bloop down. The effort, the dive, and caught by Mancino.
Yeah, great effort from the true freshman Mancino.
Some updates. Bassett's hit earlier is officially a single for him. And then Ewell's is officially an error. That's an E5. So just wanted to give those updates there. 2 away in the inning, 2 on for A.J. Hinkle, who homered the last time he was up. We'll see what the attack here is from Tate. He tries to keep it on the edges of the zone.
Yeah, definitely not looking for more hits, more hit by pitches, or even more home runs.
1-0 home. This one is inside. And Cawthorn corrals it before any of the runners can get active on the base path. So you have Bassett and Ewell, the 2 base runners for the Flames. Team that finished 6th out of 10 teams in the Missouri Valley Conference last season, but did have a positive record above 500, 28-25 on the campaign. 2-0. And it counts 3 balls, no strikes. A.J. Hinkle has a chance here to potentially take a pitch, either get the walk, or in the 3-1, you get the perfect hitter's count.
Yeah, if you're Tate right now, you see 2 outs after already giving up a few runs in the inning. You want to just get out of this inning so far and just hopefully go back, just regroup, and continue to go out there and pitch.
There's a nice strike on the inside. 3 balls and 1 strike, 2 away. A great hitter's count for Hinkle. Let's see where he swings. The 3-1. And he takes the walk outside.
Loading the bases now. Dangerous position to be in, especially when you have the next guy coming up.
It really is. And 2-out walks are tricky situations for the Bobcats. And this will incite Ohio to send out one of their coaches to the fray.
Just give a little talk, just telling them to control the strike zone, put them in maybe looking for some contact, not great contact, but just small contact there just to get the easy out. You have all 4 bases as an opportunity to get someone out. So kind of relieving in a way.
Yeah, pitching coach Tim Brown out there to talk with Tate. He's in year 3 as an assistant, working under, of course, Craig Moore, who's year 3 as a full-time head coach. He spent 8 years as an assistant, 1 year interim head coach before becoming the full-time head coach in the spring of 2022. And of course, Tim Brown, a major part of Coach Moore's staff as the pitching coach. So here's Nicoludis with the bases juiced for UIC. 3-0 lead for the Flames. A pair of home runs, one a solo shot, one a 2-run shot. And the first pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, Nicoludis looking to make a big impact early on in this freshman year. He already has 1 home run in the season. Would be nice to have a grand slam to add on to that home run total.
Breaking ball 1-0. And the count is high, or pitch is high. Count is 2 balls, no strikes. There we go. Kind of jumbled it up there. That was the curveball there from Tate.
The last thing you want to do if you're Tate is let a run in through a walk.
Look to find the zone here, the 2-0. Fastball, that time on the money. Nice little bounce back there for Jacob Tate. Pitcher that was a highly touted recruit.
Coach McDermott was telling us that UIC, they really want to embody the city of Chicago, and you can see it with just how they're acting in the dugout. They're very supportive of their guys up there, wanting to see the best result possible.
It is high energy, scrappy. And of course, the color scheme that they rock also reflects the Chicago flag as well.
Yeah, very nice to see.
3-1 pitch. Fastball, swung on and missed. Actually, a little bit of off speed rather. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And whatever it was that got him swinging, got Nicoludis tricked.
That was a changeup. 2 away, bases loaded, and here comes the payoff. The 3-2. Popped in the air and foul. Bassett is at third, Yule's at second, Hinkle is at first.
All the runners, they looked ready to race.
It is, why not?
Just wanting some contact here just to add on to this lead that they've already accrued.
Yeah, you got to run. They have force outs at every single one of the bases. Let's do it again, the payoff. That one's outside, and there's a walk. And that will walk in a runner. Bassett scores. And Tate is in trouble.
Yeah, Tate looking a bit reminiscent of what happened last time against Campbell. Already four runs scored in just 3 innings of play.
So the Flames have a 4-0 advantage. How about this start for UIC on the road?
Yeah, definitely what you want to see after traveling from Texas to here. Nothing like getting an early lead.
So here's James Harris back into the fray. He's got the bases juiced after there's been a trio of free passes plus an error that has plagued the Cats in this inning. 0-1 on its way, and that's up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Tate getting in a bit of trouble with the balls early in the count. It's nice to see him with the strike early, but already another ball.
1-1 breaking ball inside the strike zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 away. And here's an opportunity for Tate to get out of the frame. Player that started off his career in the SEC with the Kentucky Wildcats at pitcher.
And he's got that experience in the big time, hoping to use some of that experience to get out of this inning.
1-2 fouled backwards as UIC has bat around the order here. This is well, it depends on how you see it. Some people say the 10th batter you see is bat around the order, and the 9th batter, to me, I say it's batted around the order.
It's a lot of batters in an inning. That's all that matters.
That's right. 1-2 to Harris. And a good take there from the first baseman. Harris, of course, from Chicago, attending Gwendolyn Brooks College Prep. With the count even, the 2-2. On the ground to the left side and chop foul. Harris played in 17 games last season with 2 starts. Did struggle a little bit from the plate, but is doing much better this year. 120 last season was his average. He's up to 300 this season.
Yeah, Harris making the most of his starts. He started every single game he's played this season.
2-2. Drilled in the air. Over to center field. Antoine is high horse, but he does have a little room at the track. Makes the catch, fading away to the wall. And that retires the side with 3 left on the base path. But not before UIC could tack on not 1, not 2, but 3 runs in the frame, 4-0. As we head to the bottom of the third, you're watching baseball on Ohio Bobcat TV. Home half of the third inning, and the Flames have a 4-0 advantage as the Cats got their work out for them here in this third inning. Wes Lugg, J.R. Nelson, and Taylor Gill due up in the frame for the Bobcats, working against the pitcher Dylan Schuler, who now has some wind behind his sails even more. He's got a lot of run support today. Dials in the first pitch, and that one popped in the air over to right center field. A.J. Hinkle sprinting, but Yule calls it and makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Schuler.
Yeah, not what you want to see early for the Bobcats. The last thing you want after seeing so many pitches get raked up on tape, the last thing you want is a quick out.
So here comes J.R. Nelson, the shortstop. Nobody on, 1 away in a 4-0 ball game led by UIC. Speaking of leads, the Bobcats are led by Coach Craig Moore as the first pitch is in there for a strike. Mentioned him a little bit in the last frame, but he's a great coach for the Bobcats. And Quinn, you got that great experience of getting to talk with him before this is the 0-1 chop foul.
Yeah, definitely a coach. Seems like somewhat of a no-nonsense type of guy, but also very personable to his players. He just wants the best result for the team and not necessarily the individual. He was talking about that when we were talking to him about Tate. But yeah, just a guy who is a great leader, it seems, in the dugout and the bullpen for the Bobcats.
The 0-2 is fouled backwards. The count remains the same to J.R. Nelson. He also has developed some really great players in his career, including Joe Rock, who was drafted with the 68th pick in the 2021 MLB draft by the Colorado Rockies. 0-2 home. Fastball is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Back when Rock was here, 8-3 as a starter with a 2.33 ERA and 117 strikeouts in just 14 starts.
Wow.
1-2. That one hits lined over to left field. Roberts makes the catch at the track.
I looked like reminiscent of the first home run we saw. It looked like it just kept on going, but something just happened where it just stopped and couldn't get over the fence.
So 2 up, 2 down for Dylan Schuler, trying to roll through 3. He's already got 1 strikeout to his name, and he'll face the top of the order as Taylor Gill up to bat for the second time today.
Taylor Gill looking to recuperate on the offensive end of the ball.
Take strike 1. Taylor Gill's a junior from Orem, Utah. 0-1. And that one's outside, a little too high as well. In this righty on lefty matchup.
Yeah, Taylor was a recent transfer from Northeast Community College where he had an outstanding season, batting .386 with 43 RBIs and 6 home runs.
Sees the ball a little bit there, just a little late on the swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Infield shift over towards the first base side. The 1-2. That one is clocked over to right field and just foul.
Ooh.
Ever so close there from Taylor Gill. He got a good hold of that one.
Yeah,
Play.
got it early and got it far, but just too early for the third baseman there.
Chance to get out of the inning for Schuler. The 1-2 is fouled backwards. But you can notice here, right now, Rafe Peterson, the third baseman, he's at where a normal shortstop position would be. Zane Zielinski, he's sitting at where, a normal second baseman would be. He's actually the shortstop. You have A.J. Taylor deep in the hole in right center field. They've been looking at the spray charts. The 1-2 is low and away for ball number 2. But clear shift.
Yeah, we just recently saw Taylor's ability to pull the ball. Like, clearly he had a bit too much pull in that last one, so I don't blame UIC for trying to adjust to get the out here.
2-2 pitch home. And that one hit to left field, but that one's foul.
An opposite field hit now, too. You can get it everywhere.
Yeah, if he can get anything just on the ground down that third base line, it's going to be extra bases all day. Definitely test your skill as a hitter. Here's the 2-2. On the ground to the right side, right into the shift. A.J. Taylor makes the play to first base to retire the side. 1, 2, 3. Down they go. Schuler, he is driving through 3 innings as we head to the top of the 4th with the UIC Flames up 4-0. You're listening to baseball on Ohio Bobcat TV. Welcome back to Bob Rinn Stadium, where UIC looks to build on their lead. They're up 4-0 as we head into the top of the 4th. Cedric Granger alongside Quinn Alpers, and now joined by Ben Hamilton. Slate Ohio baseball walked onto the team, and now we'll be looking for some baseball opportunities coming up for the next upcoming season as Jacob Tate deals the first pitch inside to Carson Roberts, and we're underway in this inning. But Ben, great to have you on the broadcast. How you feeling today?
Thank you for having me, Sid. I'm feeling smooth, man.
It's great to have you. What is some of your thoughts of the game so far? We've seen Ohio struggle a little bit defensively and trying to still get it going with the bats. A lot of time left to go, but right now a slower start for the Cats.
So what I'm seeing is, of course, it always starts off with the pitching. There's a couple of misplacements there with pitches, and also, there was a very great effort play by Gill over there at third base. Those are very hard plays. And speaking of great plays,
Yeah, Wes Lugg dives out there to be able to rob a base hit away from Carson Roberts, and he goes down on the G3.
Lug usually plays catcher, so it's nice to see him making plays in the field. But Ben, from your experience, when the team is down early, like what's the mentality, what's the mindset going in from the coach to the players?
so the mentality is you always just keep fighting. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, I can just definitely remember last year, we was down by 10 runs against Miami. And so we literally came back 10 runs within one inning just to beat Miami. And so just always keep fighting. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we talked about that moment a little bit yesterday. We actually saw Wes Lugg on our way back to the Convocation Center after the games were postponed as it counts 2 balls, no strikes to Zane Zielinski. And he was talking about how that Miami game, he hit the big grand slam to put the
Yes.
Bobcats ahead, and that was such a huge moment for the team. What was the energy like when you guys took down Miami after that comeback?
The energy unmatched is an understatement. I mean, like there is no other word I can even find like in my wheelhouse to describe how electrifying that moment was by West Love. Just like for Ohio baseball, period. Because I don't think we've ever seen something like that happen here at Bob Warren Stadium before.
There's a 4 pitch walk to add on to this frame here. Ground out for Carson Roberts and a walk for Zane Zielinski. AJ Taylor now up to bat with 1 runner on and a 4-0 lead for the Flames in the top of the fourth. But Ben, one thing we talked about on our way here to Bob Martin Stadium, you described your favorite aspect of being on the Bobcats was your teammates.
Yes. Not only are they great gentlemen on the field, but they're also great gentlemen off the field as well. Just the energy, just their personalities. I mean, it's just so unmatched.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear. Just not only being great on the field, but just being great people off the field. That's really all that matters.
That's right, as the 0-1 breaking ball swung on and missed. Count is 0-2 to A.J. Taylor, who has a pair of flyouts to his name on the day. And then now with your position specifically, you get to provide that aspect of what is it like behind the dish. You talked to me about all the different pitches that you've seen, seeing 90 plus mile per hour fastball, seeing the craziest sliders with all the horizontal sliders you can. Speaking of breaking balls, there's strike number 3, first strikeout of the day for Jacob Tate.
Nice to see no balls in that count at all. So hopefully gaining some momentum and hopefully seeing a bit of a longer appearance than once thought.
Yeah, 2 away, and here comes Jackson Bassett. But Ben, take us into your mindset when you're up at the plate. What is it like seeing these pitches come your way?
What it's like seeing these pitches on a regular basis. We actually have seen these pitches uh, over there where you see in the barn over there out there in right center field. That's where we normally do our work. And so, setting up the machines, you see 88 to 90 mile per hour fastball on a regular basis. I remember my first time seeing that when I first walked on the team, and I'm like, what on God's wing earth is this? And so, also, with the hack attack machines, what you want, what you always want to do, you always want to challenge yourself. Set it to where that where it's beyond your limits, and so when you get on the field, you know, it's almost like the game is slowing down for you.
That's right. Runner goes, pitches a ball to throw down to second base. The tag. Oh, can't glove it. Benny has that one going to the outfield, and here comes Zielinski working his way to third.
These
Not only does he steal second, but gets 2 bases out of it. And now he's in prime scoring position with 2 away in the frame.
these errors have just been piling up for the Bobcats. It looks like, which they might not mean much in the moment, but having a guy on third compared to a guy on second is a lot worse. So hopefully the Bobcats can recuperate and not let that guy go home.
2 balls and no strikes to Jackson Bassett, who singled the last time he was up. But as Ben was talking about, the barn is out there in right center field, that tan building right beyond the outfield over there. But a lot of training. There's great facilities in there that the
Yes.
Bobcats have utilized for training. That's something that both of these two teams had, because we talked with Coach McDermott and Curtis Granderson. He does a lot for UIC, and there's a lot of training academies. As the 3-0 finds the top corner of the zone at about 1 o'clock, and the count is 3 balls, 1 strike.
I kind of want to touch on the fact you said you were a walk on, and you were telling us a bit before the broadcast began that just because it's a walk on, it doesn't mean it's like a walk in the park.
One thing that I was told, and this was something I already knew even before walking on the team, nothing is guaranteed for you. You are not necessarily a guaranteed roster guy because you have to remember, if nobody on that roster recruited you, you are literally on your own. So you have to earn your respect literally just from you. You don't have any hookups, no inheritance, nothing. It's just you building it brick by brick from scratch.
Well said. The brick by brick reference. That's awesome.
Yeah, of course, especially
Frankenstein.
with bricks being a big theme here on the Bobcat campuses. Jackson Bissett, he is walked. That's the fifth walk of the day for Tayton Ewell. Pops that one high in the air to right field. Mancino looking to track it and makes the catch at the track to retire the side with the runner left in scoring position. We'll have Ben still on with us as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. 4-0 lead for the Flames, and the Cats will look to eat into that deficit when we come back on Ohio Bobcat TV. Welcome back to Bob Wren Stadium, bottom of the fourth inning. And the first pitch got some heat on it. Finney's got a limbo underneath that one, and the count is 1-0 4-0 lead for UIC alongside Quinn Alfers and Ben Hamilton. My name is Cedric Granger. Happy to be with you on this Saturday afternoon where we're playing two, and Finney drills that one to right center field. Ewell drifts back and makes the catch. So one up, one down, as we've had a couple of innings where the Bobcats have started off with a fly out within two pitches, and that's really been to the advantage of Schuler so far to be able to maintain this start. 3 innings pitched, one strikeout, and no runs given up.
Finney was looking for his first home run of the season off that hit, and from this angle, it looks like they're all going out. So it's kind of crazy to see that they just all die in the end, as we now have what looks to be a bunting opportunity for the next hitter.
Yep, count is 0-1. And Quinn, you said you saw some bullpen activity for Ohio. We'll talk about that when the Bobcats get back on defense. But now Cole Williams on offense. Looks at the 0-1, shows bunt, and that one is outside. 1-1 to Williams, who has a fly out on the day in F7.
And we were talking to Ben a bit earlier about just the walk-on process in general. Would you care to explain more about like your recruiting process going into Ohio and all that, Ben?
Yes, so my recruiting process, it was very, 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 very complicated. I was a senior graduate of Robert M. Shoemaker High School in Killeen, Texas. And anybody recalls back in 2020, that was not the year for many. There was a virus that was powerful enough to shut down the entire globe, unfortunately. And so that actually messed up my recruiting process. I was recruited by former coach Nick Bridison. And my first time coming to Athens was actually
And there's a blue single in the left field, and Cole Williams
nice
has a
hit,
base hit for the Bobcats. Yeah, it's got to be cool for you seeing some of your teammates as well out there.
Cole Williams, I tell you, man, like you talk about consistent, that's him. He is a very, very, very good player, man. I miss playing with him.
Yeah, and again, with this team, there's a lot of turnover every year with the transfer portal, but when you got guys that'll be here 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, they start stacking those years. You really get to start to know these guys very well. And again, it's great to be able to hear Cole Williams not only get the hit, but also hearing the ball flared off of the bat, getting the barrel to it a bit. It was a good piece of hitting.
And speaking of good bats,
Here's Gideon Antle. Fastball taken upstairs, a throwback down to first base, not in time. Counts 1 ball and no strikes to Antle, who singled the last time he was up.
so back to my recruiting process. So I was a guy that really didn't have like a great GPA. That was I take full responsibility on that.
Yeah, that happens though. Things can change though once you get to college here. It seems like
Yes,
it's been for the better.
and it certainly was for the better. So I just thought, let me go ahead and take my chances. Here at Ohio, I didn't really have many options, but I had a few, and Ohio was the best option for me. Uh, Unfortunately, since COVID happened, I wasn't able to finish out my senior season, and I had to spend my entire freshman year not on campus, but at home in my room in Texas. For those of you all that don't know, I am a music major studying in contemporary music and digital instruments. And I'll actually be graduating here in May.
Hey, congratulations. We'd love to see that here.
Uh, so, uh, so spending my entire freshman year, at home, basically just doing online classes in my room, that was very challenging. I didn't have any knowledge of, transferring anywhere like that. I didn't get that type of insight nor guidance. So, I just was, basically just training, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Basically after I got done with all my homework and stuff like that. Around November of 2020, unfortunately, my pops had suffered from a stroke, and I had to have that conversation with my mom, and she had asked me, what about your baseball
That one's
career?
lined over
Ooh,
to left
that ball
field
hit so.
and
Oh my
oh,
gosh,
Carson Roberts, like
yo,
a superhero, dives to make the catch. Two away in the
yo,
frame. F9 there for or F7 I should say, but what a play from the left fielder Carson Roberts. It might have been able to be captured on the camera, but if you didn't see it, man, diving play by Carson Roberts.
That's
Sorry to interrupt your story there, but
that's
a
a
big
play that
time play.
definitely gets the dugout roaring. Like you heard it, just the roar
yeah.
from the UIC Flames. But that was just crazy athleticism from the left fielder.
Yep, with two away, one runner on, and the first pitch is a pop fly or pop out or pop foul, I should say, by Jackson Coffin. Third time around.
That was definitely worth interrupting my story for. Hey, I love it.
Yeah, you know, as an outfielder, how big these types of plays are, being able to make those diving efforts.
Yes. I remember my first time making a diving play. I said I never made a diving play before, and then the very next play, made a diving catch.
There it is. The 0-1 is out, or it's up top. 1 ball, 1 strike, two away in the frame. 4-0 lead for UIC. Of course, joined right now by Ben Hamilton. Played for the Bobcats baseball team last season, and we'll look to get an opportunity to play with one more year of eligibility, correct?
Yes.
1-1. That one's blooped in the air and foul to the left side.
So speaking of other opportunities, I remember my sophomore year. Fortunately, the coach that had recruited me, he ended up leaving. So I remember I came up to the baseball field and met with head coach Craig Moore for the very first time. I remember shaking his hand, give him a little backstory on how I ended up here at Ohio.
1-2,
And
skied
oh
in the air to
my,
right field. Ewell pushing back, makes the catch, and that retires the side. We'll continue on with our story as we go into the fifth inning. You're hearing from Quinn Elfers, Ben Hamilton, and of course me, Cedric Granger. What a matchup we have so far. UIC with the hot start, 4-0 as we head to the top of the fifth. We're back at Bob Rinn Stadium, where the UIC Flames have grabbed the bats. They'll be Rafe Peterson, AJ Hinkle, and Pombo Nicoludis, and they're going to go against a new pitcher into the game. It's Tim Knapschafer, the right-handed pitcher standing at 6'5", from Marius Stein, Ohio, attended Marion Local, and his first pitch on the money for a strike. Tim,
Ohio has a tendency to get guys who could be playing on the basketball court with this height. 6'6" to 6'5", really daunting for the Flames.
yeah, good height, though, is great from the mound as there's another pitch that's flared in there for a strike. Now, one thing you talked to us about, Ben, was the type of pitches that Knapschafer brings. You talked about the cutter specifically, also known as a two-seamer.
Yes, Tim has a very firm fastball, a very good changeup, but he has a devastating cutter. While I was actually playing against him in the fall, I couldn't stand facing against him because of that cutter. I mean, it literally looks like that it's gonna hit you, and then it just breaks. Like it has so much run on it, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, we've already seen him throw the cutter a little bit earlier in this count for a strike. The 1-2 chopped on the ground to the left side.
That's exactly what he'll do to you.
Peterson 0 for 2 on the day, into a double play, as well as had a pop out. Looking for his first base hit of the day as he leads off the 5th inning. We're rolling through this game, it seems like. 1-2. That one misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A good take there by Peterson.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the count, 1-2, you want to get a bat on the ball, but great just patience and awareness from Peterson right there.
2-2 home. On the ground, over to the second baseman, Finney. It is in time to first base.
Ball had a little bit of a slow roll there. Maybe wondering if the guy will get to first before the throw can.
Yep, but good work, though, by Finney to time it up and got it to Westlug at first base just in time. 1 up, 1 down. Knapschafer, of course, coming in for Jacob Tate, who finishes his day 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, and 1 strikeouts. Got through 4 innings, but the walks are the things that plagued him the most, with 5 of them, as well as giving up the home runs. One of them being to this guy that's currently up at the plate, AJ Hinkle, who's already showcased his power today. He has a home run, has also reached base on a walk.
Looking at that ball, the way he hit it, it just kept soaring. Like that looked like it could have gone 420 on a good day.
Yeah, and again, he's a player that played in the Northwoods League. The count is 0-2. One thing that Coach McDermott really liked about having his guys play in the Northwoods League is that it teaches you how to grind. You're having all these tough road stretches, but in the Northwoods League, you got to play every single game as the fastball is outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So it helps you to train yourself when you have weekend series. You have double headers like this. You're ready to go.
Yeah, people like to talk down to baseball because people are saying it's not the most athletically enduring sport, but the schedule these guys have to go through is grueling. So
yeah, and if you don't just say it from us, hear from a guy who's played.
It is definitely a grind.
Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's Knapschafer's next pitch, and that one lined over to left center. It's got carry. AJ Hinkle leaves the yard for the 2nd time today.
Wow.
Looked to be nearly identical location as the last one. Hinkle, it doesn't matter who's pitching to him, Hinkle will rake.
All smiles for UIC through 4 and some change. A 5-0 lead for the Flames.
Wow. And as I previously stated, Bob Warren Stadium, the ball's going to carry here a lot, especially in the spring.
Yeah, what a way to get your first 2 home runs on the board for the season for Hinkle. One of the few UIC Flames players who did not have a home run who got consistent starting time.
Yeah, that's definitely changed quite a bit as he has put his stamp on this game. He's certainly the early pick for player of the game, as here comes Nicoludis.
Yeah, nothing like going into the game tied for last in home runs and then leaving the game leading the team in home runs.
That's right. Loves playing in Bob Rinn Stadium here. 1-1. Knapschafer's next pitch. And that one is there for a strike. Knapschafer, like Ben had mentioned, he got the fastball, curveball, slider. And of course, like you said, the cutter. Two-seamer. Devastating one, as he said.
A guy who recently made his debut at OU against Campbell last week. I didn't have the best outing, but He's so far looking poised and confident up on the mound as the inning will not close. Sorry. I
Yep,
thought it would.
chopped on the ground over to the second baseman, Finney. Makes the 4-3 ground out, and that brings us to James Harris. Nap Schaefer, he started off his career at Ohio Northern playing for the Polar Bears. In his final season over there, 10 starts, 10 appearances with a 5-4 record, 69 strikeouts across 54 innings pitched. First pitch finds the bottom corner to make the count 0-1 to Harris, who's 0 for 2 on the day. 5-0 lead for the Flames here in the away half of the fifth. And good work by Nap Schaefer to get up in the count quickly, 0-2.
So Ben, as someone who played in the outfield, would you want to tell us a little bit about Gideon Antle and just his impact, being a senior, being one of the top guys on the squad?
Let me tell you something about Gideon Ansel. Gideon, like he may be now he may be small, but I tell you one thing though, his aggression is just absolutely just unmatched. See, now I like to nickname him the Honey Badger. Honey Badgers are small, but they're very aggressive, and so he has like this little code switch. So he's very aggressive on the field, but he's one of the like nicest people you'll ever meet off the field.
So there's a strikeout for Nap Schaefer on the drop strike 3 situation to retire the side. But the Flames tack on another one in the top of the fifth. AJ Hinkle makes it 2 home runs on the day as he hit another one to left center. That's been the sweet spot today for the Flames. We're headed to the home half of the fifth. You're watching Bobcat TV. Welcome back to Bob Wren Stadium, bottom of the fifth inning, and a 5-0 lead for the Flames. Here at Ohio Bobcat TV, we're back on YouTube today because we have Max Swimming and Diving going on ESPN right now. We also have ESPN Women's Basketball. So a lot of games here. We only have so much personnel. So we're making do with what we got here in the broadcast, and we're happy to be with you on this Saturday afternoon. We're playing two. Because what's better than one game of baseball, two games of baseball? Schuler gets a hold of the first pitch. That one's in the center field, and a nice sliding catch by A.J. Hinkle.
Put that ball a few more feet to the left. That could be an easy extra base hit. Great power, great poise, just wrong location.
And great speed.
So Paulie Mancino goes down on the line out to the center fielder, and this takes us to A.J. Roush.
AJ Roush. Ben, would you care to tell us a bit about AJ Roush and just the power and just what everything he possesses as a player?
Great speed, great power. I mean, like a very stoic player. I mean, like just an all around just great player. Like I honestly couldn't describe AJ Roush in a better setting. Like and again, like great personality on the field, but also great personality off the field. I mean, AJ Roush, man, it's just I love playing with him. You know, and even so, like there are some tips that I even took from him. You know, that made me into a better outfielder. So I remember I took that tip, in the Fall World Series, and became very successful, as an outfielder. And
1-2 popped in the air over to left center field. And that's down for a base hit in between 3 defenders. A.J. Roush has his first base hit of the day, and the Bobcats looking to get the bats humming here in the 5th.
Roush adding on to that 348 average he already has. Great start to the season so far for the redshirt junior.
This takes us to Wes Lugg with 1 runner on. Last time Lugg was up, had a pop fly. So looking for a better result here.
Yeah, Lugg looking to get out of this little stump he's been early in the season. Only 1 hit and 13 at-bats.
Schuler in his 5th inning of work dials in the first pitch. That one just paints the inside of the zone for strike number 1. Lugg's a junior from Hunterville, North Carolina. Huntersville. Got to make sure to get that S in there. Attended William Amos Howe High School. Yo, 1.
Something I think we should bring up is Schuler's ability just to stay very competitive despite the innings tallying up. Like, you got to love what you're seeing if you're UIC out of Dylan Schuler.
That's right. William Amos Huff High School, my mistake. The 0-2. That one misses inside, ever so close there. Schuler working the fastball inside. Lugg played in 8 games last season, making 2 starts. That 267 on the season with a triple and a home run. He's got 1 runner on with 1 away in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-2. That one popped in the air. This one should be in the shallow center field. A.J. Hinkle can just jog underneath it, tracks it down, and makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah. As Ben was saying, that was sky high. Like, crazy to see just the pop these guys can get off of even balls like that.
This takes us to J.R. Nelson, who did have some pop the last time he was up. It was a fly out to left field, but he did make the bat sing a little bit.
Yeah, Nelson is really encapsulating this youth movement that's going on in Ohio. A freshman who's already hitting .435 with 10 hits, 1 RBI. Looking for that first home run of the season, but still great start, great promise from this freshman from Vernon Hills, Illinois.
The Bobcats need it today as Schuler's been controlling the game very impressively. A runner has not even gotten into scoring position yet today for Ohio.
Wow.
0-1 home from the righty. And that one's hit over into foul territory, but did get a good swing on it.
Yeah, still staying ahead of the pitch, pulling it very much, but I'd rather see a good pull than a push, in my opinion. Just staying in front of the pitch, staying on top of it.
J.R. Nelson's from a family of athletes. His father wrestled at Minnesota State University in Mankato, while his uncle played baseball at Northern Iowa Area Community College. The 0-2, that one's lined right down Broadway, and that's through for a base hit. Roush puts on the brakes at second, and there's a 2-out single for J.R. Nelson.
Look there for a second. Roush was wanting to go third, but he remembered that A.J. Hinkle is in center field. He's got a cannon on him, so maybe a smart decision to just get in a scoring position.
We turn over the lineup card back to the top of the order with Taylor Gill. Gill pops that one high in the air. Looks like it's going to come down to Kendall Ewell, who makes the catch and retires the side. Bobcats make a little progress with a couple of base hits. They get a runner in scoring position, but can't close the door. Schuler's through 5 scoreless innings here at Bob Wren Stadium. We're headed to the top of the 6th. You're watching Ohio Bobcat TV. Top of the 6th inning as we take you in medias res. First pitch outside for a ball as we begin the 6th inning. Alongside Ben Hamilton and Quinn Elfers, my name is Cedric Granger. Happy to be out here with you on a cloudy day, but just warm enough for baseball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Carson Roberts. You also see Zane Zielinski and A.J. Taylor in this inning, the 9-1-2 in the order for the Flames clad in the powder blues today. And you guys were talking about how much you like that uniform combination.
Definitely.
1-1 from Nap Schaefer. That one just missed the zone. It looked like it had a chance of hitting that top corner, but no dice. 2 balls and 1 strike to Carson Roberts, who's already scored once today. He got plunked in the 3rd with a hit by pitch and then grounded out the 2nd time he was up. And now takes a 2-1 upstairs to make the count 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-game series between these 2 teams. Got a doubleheader today, and then we'll be back here at the Rin for a noon start. And there's strike number 2, swing and a miss.
Napshafer getting it past him. Love to see that.
Nap Schaefer came into the game in the 5th inning, looking to slow down this Flames attack. Has already put up 5 runs on the day. The payoff. Chopped on the ground to the left side. Nice run there by Nelson. The throw is in time.
What a play.
J.R. Nelson with an excellent play at shortstop.
J.R. Nelson, the freshman, making that play. Looking like a seasoned vet just off that one play alone.
Very much so. With the Bobcats, they had to cover a lot of ground in the infield. Nelson was playing pretty deep in the hole between 2nd and 3rd base. So well done by him to get that down to lug. And this takes us back to the top of the lineup with Zielinski. Zielinski gets the piece of the first pitch for strike number 1. Already has a home run to his name. A 2-run shot in the 3rd. One of 3 home runs today for UIC. We talked with Coach Moore. One thing he did talk about that stood out on tape, I think this was one of your best questions, Quinn, that you had to Coach Moore, was how the offense was going to be a big factor. The Flames, they bring a lot of skill, a lot of talent with their bats, and knew this would be a challenge for his squad.
Yeah, you have a lot of players hitting over 300, a lot of power, as you can see in this game. A lot to love in terms of the offensive side of the ball with another great, not the great contact, but another hit.
The fly ball is caught by Paulie Mancino in right field, and that's 2 away in the frame. And good stuff for Nap Schaefer. Despite giving up the home run, other than that, he's retired 5 out of the 6 batters that he's faced. So here comes A.J. Taylor. UIC already batting for the 4th time through their order. So you know it's been a productive offensive day. Nap Schaefer deals his first pitch, and that's waved at and missed for a strike. Ben, could you give us some insight to how the practices go? One thing that always stands out is the green and black scrimmages and how intense that is in the fall for Ohio.
Yeah, it's very extremely competitive, high tempo, very fast tempo, and just overall competitive. You know, like iron sharpens iron. So every single last one of us has just gotten better off of each other. You know, we always ask each other questions, you know, and whatnot. Now we're in a game, you know, we kind of mess around with each other. You know, we're on opposite teams, but really, that was a nice hit.
Yep, line drive over to right field, no problem for Paulie Mancino. And we'll pick up on that story when we come back for the home half of the 6th inning. UIC up 5-0. The Bobcats looking to eat into the deficit when we come back on Ohio Bobcat TV. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Bob Wren Stadium. And Alex Finney will lead things off alongside Cole Williams and Gideon Antle, the 2-3-4 in the order. Looking to get the Bobcats on the board. They got a little momentum with 2 base hits against Schuler, who's working into his 6th inning. His first pitch breaking ball's there for a strike.
Yeah, Schuler has just been dominant all game. Like only 4 hits the entire contest. Definitely showing why he's the ace of this UIC squad.
Yep, 1 out away from his season high for innings pitched in a game, which he got against Kansas, where he pitched 5 and earned the win. He's now up in the count against Alex Finney, who's 0-for-2 on the day, trying to figure out Schuler. 0-2 home. That one's lined over to left field, and Roberts doesn't even have to move.
Once again, right hit, wrong location, right to the left fielder's glove. Tough break for the Bobcats right there.
One of the main storylines going into this game for the Flames was how they looked for improvement on the mound, as the Flames have yet to hold an opponent to 3 or fewer runs in a game this season. Right now, they're on good pace to do that through 6 and some change.
Yeah, something you notice when
5 and some change, rather.
when you look at the pitching behind the Flames. Great starting depth, but once you get into the bullpen, you start to see a little bit of higher ERAs, a little bit more earned runs. So hopefully they're hoping Schuler can get a few more innings, maybe even a complete game with the way he's playing, just out, so we can keep those bullpen arms nice and fresh for the doubleheader.
Williams looking to stay hot, had a base hit the last time he was up. He'll put one on the ground up the middle. Taylor reads it well and is in time to first base. 4-3 ground out for Cole Williams. And that's 2 up, 2 down quickly for Schuler. Looking to go through 6. But to your point, Quinn, that is a good observation, because if you have a pitcher that can eat up innings, especially in a doubleheader, that makes it a lot easier for your bullpen pitchers, especially when you're playing 3 games in basically the span of 24 hours.
Yeah, it gives you some flexibility on what to do for that third game, where you might not know exactly who's starting because you don't know who's going to be ready to start. Because, having a ton of fresh arms gives you a lot more opportunities to spread the wealth around and get a lot of guys some good playing time.
Gideon Antle back up at the plate. The 1-0 pitch. And that one's low and inside for ball number 2. Antle with a single and a fly out to his name on the day. When he was on the base pass, he did get caught stealing, though. The 2-0. That one's outside. 3 balls and no strikes. It's a Bobcats team that wants to have a stronger finish to the year if possible compared to last season. 19-30 overall, as the check swing is there for a strike on the off speed. 3 balls, 1 strike. They went 19-30 overall, 15-15 in conference play. However, they dropped 10 out of their last 12 last season and did not make the MAC tournament. As he turns on that one, Antle's got a base hit in left field. A 2-out single for Gideon Antle, and he's now 2 for 3 on the day.
Gideon Antle just improving that 571 average. He can get the ball hit anywhere, whether it's a home run or a nice bloop single. You'll love to see it out of the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina.
North Carolina, one of the key recruiting zones for Coach Craig Moore. And one thing I found really interesting about this team, there's so many different players from specific areas. You got guys from North Carolina. You got your Ohio guys. As Cawthorn's up at the plate, takes the first pitch high of the zone for a ball. You also got guys from Texas like Ben, of course. You got Utah. There's all types of different players represented on this roster. Showcases where you can find talent from anywhere in the United States. A lot of great baseball being played at the high school level. 1-0 is fouled backwards for strike number 1. Cawthorn has reached base once today on a walk, but free passes have come few and far between. That's the only walk of the day for Dylan Schuler. He's through 5 2/3 now. 1-1 pitch home. Once again, popped foul backwards for strike number 2.
Looking to add some pitches to that pitch count for Schuler, hoping to get him out by the end of this inning at the very least, so we don't have to worry about him as he gets as he's continuing to be red hot, only allowing 5 hits and no runs this entire game.
Each team with 5 hits, but UIC has 3 home runs today. That's been the difference, the 1-2. And that's fouled backwards once again, or fouled, I should say, to the left side to stay alive for Cawthorn. One of the hottest bats on the team, 357 average going into this matchup. Looking to keep up this 2-out rally. Here's Schuler's pitch, the 1-2. Tapped on the ground to the left side. Fielded in by Peterson. Peterson's throw is not in time.
That hustle by Cawthorn.
Interesting play there as Zielinski might have had an easier shot at it at shortstop, but Peterson, he attacked the ball, ended up being late to first base. So back-to-back infield singles, or one single that got to the outfield, now an infield single. And now here comes Paulie Mancino with a runner in scoring position.
Ben, when Cedric and I were were watching practice for a little bit, we noticed a lot of emphasis on like base running and keeping up the hustle. How much does Coach Moore emphasize that in your team?
He emphasized that very heavily. Like that was something that we practiced every day. A tip that I really took from Coach Kenyon McWilliams was that is the difference between winning series and sweeping series is base running. That is very essential to your game.
Righty on righty matchup. The 1-0 finds the bottom of the zone for strike number one to Paulie Mancino. The new faces for the Bobcats this year from Westlake, Ohio. Attended St. Ignatius, a great program for baseball in Northeast Ohio.
Very great bat, very great speed.
And he'll put one on the ground to the left side. A little hop there to avoid it, but the throw down to second base is in time for a 6-4 play. And that retires the side. Dylan Schuler, he's through 6 here at Bob Wren Stadium. We're headed to the 7th with the Flames up 5-0 over the Bobcats. Top of the 7th inning here in Athens, Ohio. Game 1 of a 3-game set between UIC and Ohio. And the Flames looking to tack on a little bit of extra insurance as we head to the later stages of the game. Knapp Schaefer's first pitch is outside to Jackson Bassett. We'll see him, Ewell, and Peterson, the 3-4-5 in the order for the blue and red. I love how UIC, they reflect Chicago in so many ways. That was something that was very clear when Coach McDermott talked to us a little bit. He talked about the impact of Curtis Granderson, who I know is one of your favorite players.
Dude, yeah, as a Yankees fan, I love seeing Curtis Granderson from that 4-year span where he almost won MVP. So it's really cool just to hear about the fact that he's so involved with his alma mater, just staying involved, keeping in close contact with a lot of the players, having utilizing their team's facilities a lot. So it's very cool to see him giving back.
Yeah, very much so. Of course, Chicago, one of the key areas in which MLB is doing a lot of their youth development. So they have spaces, of course, in California and Florida, Georgia, and then, of course, Chicago and Illinois is a big one. Counts 1-2 to Bassett. Check swings at that one. There's strike 3.
Knapp Schaefer looked really happy about that one. Good to get a strike out early in the inning to keep UIC at bay.
Second strikeout of the day for Nap Schaefer. This takes us to Kendall Ewell. But you can always appreciate when you got teams that uplift the community around them. Also provide opportunities to get some great playing time and to recruit Chicago-based kids. Or even just people around Illinois, as Ewell, one of those players. He's from Calumet City, Illinois.
Yeah, you love to see guys who grow up in the community, maybe even root for the team that they play for, come out here and show their love for the game. It's very nice to see. Also, something interesting I'm looking at right now. Right now, Coach McDermott's record at UIC is 54-54, so a perfect 500 record. It would be fun to see him get past that mark and maybe, well, that's what they're hoping for, hoping to see a 55-54 record there.
2 balls and no strikes to Kendall Ewell. Righty on righty matchup, and there's strike 1. Nice work there on a pitch that was sweeping to the lower corner of the zone. Kendall Ewell has a walk, reached on an error, and a fly out to his name on the day. His 4th plate appearance. Nap Schaefer dials the 2-1. That one is through for a base hit in right field. Kendall Ewell with a 1-out base hit.
Feels like everyone on the Flames are getting involved some way in the offense, whether it's singles, doubles, or even home runs.
Yeah, Kendall Ewell, very talented player for the Flames. He was already selected in the draft. Selected in the 40th round by the Minnesota Twins back in 2019, but elected to get some extra work in at the college level. Would not be surprised to see him drafted.
Yeah, it looks like that work's paying off. Still looks very great out there.
Or I should say, see him on the Twins, I should say. Here comes Rafe Peterson.
Is that how it works? If you get drafted by the team, you still stay with them even if you would like to go to college?
I'm actually interested. Do you have any insight on that, Ben?
That I do not know. I wish I did, though.
Yeah, we'll have more info on that, of course, as well as we go in. That'd be great to get some of that insight on that draft process because it is interesting. You see a lot of players get drafted out of high school.
Yes.
So I certainly am curious. That might be something we bring up in our next coach interviews with Coach McDermott and, of course, Coach Craig Moore, who's had his fair share of drafted players.
Joe Rock.
Yep, Joe Rock, of course, is one that really stands out there. Of course, as the count is 2 balls, no strike to Peterson.
Did you ever get to see Joe Rock in action, Ben, when you were on the team?
Unfortunately, I did not. He actually graduated before I walked on the team. I believe a few years before. I believe like a couple years before I walked on the team. But I did hear a lot of great things about Joe Rock, about his character on and off the field. Just a very great lefty pitcher. I mean, that is somebody that like in a pitcher you look for that. And also, if I'm not mistaken, Rudy Rote.
Yep,
I believe. Right. Yeah, he got drafted to the Phillies, and I just so happen to be a big fan of the Philadelphia Phillies. My father, actually, my pops, he grew up in Philadelphia, and so he's a diehard Philly fan. So.
Yeah, I saw you light up a little bit when you said that one of our other broadcasters will be broadcasting a little bit later, Carson, he talked about how the uniforms for UIC look a little bit like the Phillies powder blues today, as there was a 4-pitch walk by Rafe Peterson, and you got to get your eyes up now. A.J. Hinkle is back up to the plate. He already has 2 home runs.
I love me some powder blue, too.
It's a great colorway.
Really
we're talking a little bit about some of the MLB draft picks that the Bobcats have had. In Coach Moore's tenure, there have been 5 that have been selected. Of course, an example is, like you said, Rudy Rote, 2018, and then, of course, 2019. Those are some of the main years that he played, and he was taken with the 270th pick by the Phillies.
Oh, yeah, great development. In only 3 years, having 5 guys get drafted, it must be kind of nice to see all that development, especially with a retired number like Mike Schmidt's hanging in left field. Very big shoes to fill, but it seems like Coach Moore's doing a great job.
That's right. I mean, you look at both of these teams. There's some historic alumni that had great careers. Of course, Mike Schmidt. And then you go on the other side with Curtis Granderson for UIC. It's great to see that you could get really big time major league ball players from every different college around the scene. Of course, the mid majors, a lot of great college baseball being played at this level. Ohio's even gotten to see some of those teams, including Campbell, who had 40 wins last year, and Lipscomb, one of the top teams as well, as the 2-2. Let's see if they say it's a foul, and Hinkle does just stay alive.
Yeah, that's just
Very close to strike 3.
yeah, that's the beauty of baseball. I feel no, it doesn't matter really where you're at, like where you're at to start off. You can always find a way to make it big time somehow. Whether it's starting off strong and then continuing on to the draft, or starting off in like a no-name school and then working your way up and eventually getting the call. So it's very fun to see.
2-2 to Hinkle, and that's a balk. That's going to be a free base for Ewell, who moves into prime scoring position just 90 feet away for UIC. And Ray Peterson goes to second base as well in scoring position. So an even better opportunity here for Hinkle.
Yeah.
With one away in the frame, and Nap Schaefer will look to bounce back here.
Yeah,
As in comes the 2-2 pitch. That one popped to the right side and foul. Just off the top of the bat there. If you could get a bloop to right field, that's going to be 2 runs scored all day for UIC.
Exactly. That's what the difference the bulk makes. If you get one of those bloop singles, then that turns having a guy on second and first compared to third and second. That's only a 1-run scoring compared to 2. So it's very detrimental to Nap Schaefer's case if that were to occur.
That fastball up near the eyes of A.J. Hinkle. He dodges away from that, and the count runs full to A.J. Hinkle, a team or a player that played on the Rockford Rivets, as I mentioned earlier, a team that went over 500 last season. The payoff. What a battle between Nap Schaefer and Hinkle.
Yeah, Hinkle, Nap Schaefer looking to get a little bit of revenge after Hinkle took one deep off of him in his first appearance against him.
Here's the payoff. That one's in the air into shallow center field. Finney on his high horse. All the outfielders looking for it, and the catch is made by Mancino. No tag up, and all the runners hold.
Wow, that was great communication there from the Bobcats, looking on who's getting that ball and potentially stopping a run from scoring if that ball were to fall down.
Well, Quinn, in the interviews we had with Coach Moore, we asked him, how does a team create momentum and be able to generate it and keep it going? He said it's through the communication. That was a perfect example right there by Mancino, Finney as well, where it was kind of in no man's land. You had 3 guys kind of going for it, but Mancino, he made the sprint all the way from the outfield, made the catch, and better yet for Ohio, they held all the runners where they are. And that puts the pressure on Nicoludis here in a 2-out situation with 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch from Nap Schaefer.
And also plays like that, you should also expect plays like that from Pauly Mancino too, as he is the fastest one on the team. It's not even close. He definitely has speed.
Now, I got to question this, Ben. Was there a full race or something like that for you guys to figure it out, or is it just something you guys can see?
Both.
0-1 tapped on the ground. Nap Schaefer with a nice glove throws it down to first base and strands 2 runners in scoring position. It's time to stand up and stretch at Bob Wren Stadium. UIC up 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the 7th here on Ohio Bobcat TV. We're back at Bob Wren Stadium where the UIC Flames have a comfortable lead, 5-0 over the Bobcats, but Ohio will try to make them sweat a little bit. In this bottom of the seventh inning, A.J. Roush, Wes Lugg, and J.R. Nelson, the 7, 8, 9 in the order for the Cats due up as that fastball turned on and foul.
AJ Roush looked very confident with that swing. He just was ready to run, ready to get a point on the board for the Bobcats.
Yeah, just ever so late on that swing. 1 ball and 1 strike to A.J. Roush. He's had some weeks where he's taken over for Ohio, where he's gone crazy. The 1-1 off speed misses the zone for ball number 2. But back on March 22nd of last year, he earned MAC Player of the Week with 3 doubles, 3 home runs, and a ridiculous 1.235 slugging percentage as the ball is put on the ground. Fielded by Ray Peterson. The throw is in time. Nice job by the third baseman. One thing that I really saw I thought was interesting, if you guys remember back when they had the combined stadiums between baseball and football, you think about the Oakland A's and the Oakland Raiders when they used to share a stadium. The third base to first base throw is deceptively far. When you put it on the football yard lines, it's about from the home 35 to the opposing team's like 25.
Wow.
That's a long throw.
Yeah, I mean,
and they make it look so effortless.
yeah, such pinpoint accuracy for the third baseman there. To redeem himself after the last time out where he just threw it a bit left of the first baseman.
Here's Wes Lugg up at the plate. Takes the first pitches for a strike and for a strike. So the count is 0-2 to Lugg, looking for his first hit of the day. And Schuler dials up the next pitch. Oh, he got him the chase. Strike 3.
Looked a little bit hesitant on the swing. Didn't know if it was going to be a strike or a ball. But
a nice breaking ball that time for Schuler. And he's got his second strikeout of the afternoon.
Wow.
There hasn't been a lot of strikeouts today. For the most part, it's been weak contact and also some fly outs and some great plays by the defense. But Schuler, he's had himself quite the start, 6 2/3, and deals the first pitch to J.R. Nelson, and the count's 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, it's crazy seeing his first strikeout came very early in the game, I think in the first inning, and now his second one came all the way in the 7th inning. So just shows he seems to have a lot of energy still out there, looking to carry this momentum on to potentially another inning of play.
Nelson attacked a high pitch there for a foul ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. As Schuler, he had 5 innings pitched in his first game against Kansas, and then 3 innings pitched in his next start. So a total of 8 innings pitched total on the year. He's nearing 7 here today. One ball and 1 strike to Nelson, who's 1 for 2 on the afternoon. He'll chop one up the middle. Good read on it by Taylor. And is in time to first base to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Schuler. He's continuing to chug through this game as he is through 7. As we head to the top of the 8th, UIC with a comfortable advantage, 5-0 over the Bobcats. Made it to the 8th inning here at Bob Rinn Stadium, where we're playing 2. So make sure to stay with us. We will be switching to a second stream for the next game, just so you know. First pitch fastball from Nap Schaefer is there for a strike to James Harris. You also see Carson Roberts and Zane Zielinski in the frame for UIC. Nap Schaefer, he's done well. He's given up the 1 home run, but other than that, he has stymied these bats a little bit for UIC. And it's kind of fitting their team is called the Flames because they were on fire to begin this game with 3 home runs.
Yeah, for sure. AJ Hinkle has led this charge to it, like, has just led the charge in general. I mean, whether it's like he mashed 2 identical home runs, it looked like.
On the ground to the shortstop, Nelson. And in time to first base for out number 1.
Nice. Ohio's just looking to keep Nap Schaefer in as long as they can, as to not wear down any of their other arms. They still have 2 more games in the span of 24 hours coming up.
Very much so. That's something to keep in mind. First game of a doubleheader today, a 3-game series, with the next game being at noon tomorrow. And each of these teams have to play a Tuesday game as well, which is really interesting that these teams, they have to deal with that extra challenge. For the Bobcats, they will take on Youngstown State coming up on Tuesday. And on the other side of the matchup, a matchup against Milwaukee is due up for UIC.
Yeah, something interesting when we were talking to a Coach Moore a few days ago was when we were asking about, hey, who's pitching? He had no clue who's pitching the 3rd game. He's just playing it by ear. I'm guessing it's the same thing over at UIC, where they just want to see how these 2 games unfold and who's just left and ready to pitch. So it's good to see both teams not utilizing a vast array of pitchers.
Yeah, just 3 combined pitchers between the 2 teams, and we're in the 8th. The 1-2 swing and a miss. Strike 3. Roberts goes down on strikes. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th. And this takes us back to the top of the order to the shortstop, Zane Zielinski. But to your point, Quinn, there are some projected starters that we are expecting to see for UIC. Of course, Schuler today. We're expecting to see Brandon back in the second game today. He's got a 3.27 ERA. And then Kendall Lyons is the projected starter for Sunday's 3rd game. Count is 1 ball and no strikes to Zielinski. I talked about how the Flames have 3 home runs on the day. Well, Zielinski, he's one of the guys that has one. A 2-run bomb in the 3rd inning to right center field.
Yeah, just a ball that kept on flying.
Ball on the ground. J.R. Nelson staying busy and makes the play on a 6-3 ground out to retire the side. 6-3 strikeout and 6-3, a 1-2-3 inning for Nat Schaefer as he gets through 4 innings in relief baseball. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th inning, where the Bobcats will look to try to rally against UIC. You're watching Ohio Bobcat TV. Bottom of the 8th inning, and the Flames with a nice advantage, 5-0 over the Bobcats, as they have finally made the call to the bullpen, but not before Dylan Schuler could deliver 7 innings of work, 6 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Schuler in line for the win with his best performance of the season. And now here comes the new pitcher into the game, and his first pitch misses for a ball. Rigel Versiglio. Versiglio, 6'1" righty from Chicago, Illinois. And he's had quite the journey through the college ranks. Started off at Parkland College as the 1-0 is on the money for a strike. Then moved over to University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. And then now found himself a home at UIC. 1-1 pitch. On the ground to the right side. That ball's fair. Fielded by James Harris, and he races Taylor Gill to the bag and wins.
Versiglio has been a very reliable pitcher for the Flames up until this point, pitching at least 2 innings in all 3 of his appearances so far. So hoping to see a good closeout to this spectacular game so far.
Yeah, to your point, Quinn, for Versiglio, 2 innings pitched against Kansas, and there were 2 shutout innings. Lamar, he did give up a couple of runs, but did go through a season-high 2 2/3, and then also pitched 2 innings against North Park. There's one that's high up in the air. Alex Finney puts a charge into that one, but it's caught by A.J. Hinkle in right center field.
Making quick work of the first 2 hitters already. Versiglio definitely has the momentum to carry on to the end of this game.
Yeah, this would be ideal for Coach McDermott. If you could get through this first game with only 2 pitchers used, gives you your whole bullpen, or a lot of your bullpen, I should say, to work with, especially if the Bobcats come out a little bit stronger in that second game. So 2 up, 2 down quickly. And this brings us to Cole Williams for a righty on lefty matchup. First pitch breaking ball finds itself home for a strike.
I can see the movement from up here. It went up and down and into the strike zone.
Yep, that was the slider there from Versiglio. He has a fastball at 91, a changeup between 79 and 81, and a slider from 78 to 81. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Cole Williams, who's 1 for 3 on the day. One home. That one's lined over to left field, and that's down for a base hit. Extra bases opportunity for Cole Williams. The throw back to the second base bag. The tag in time. A.J. Hinkle snipes Cole Williams looking for extra bases. And that retires the side with an exclamation point for the University of Illinois at Chicago. We're headed to the 9th inning, and UIC looks to put a cherry on top here at Bob Renz Stadium, 5-0 in favor of the Flames. We've made it to the 9th inning here at Bob Renz Stadium, where the Bobcats and Flames UIC up 5-0. Despite that, though, there's a stat that really jumps out to you, Quinn.
Yeah, looking at the hits over there, Ohio is out hitting UIC up to this point, which is insane. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of the hit. 4 or 3 home runs in the game so far for UIC. I can't even keep count. That's how many there've been. But just great all-around baseball from the Flames.
Yeah, UIC, they've had some sluggers on their team today. 3 home runs, one of them a 2-run bomb, the other 2 solo shots. Then their 5th run came on a walk in a bases-loaded situation. A.J. Taylor leading off the inning. Jackson Bassett and Kendall Ewell all due up as well as the 1-1 flared in the air over to the right side. And the first baseman, Lug, tracks it down over his head.
Great adjustment by Lug, a little bit in front of the ball, making a great play behind his head to reach up and get it.
This takes us to Jackson Bassett. He's in the 3-hole today for UIC. Going against Tim Knapschafer, who's provided a fantastic effort in relief of Jacob Tate. He started the game off with 4 innings, Jacob Tate did, and then Knapschafer, he's looking to complete these final 5, as that one is a wild one. And it counts 1 ball, no strikes. No harm, no foul, though, given there's nobody on the base paths.
Yeah, it's such a competitive Ohio pitching lineup. Knapschafer making a great case to potentially maybe start down the line, as they're always looking for guys who can step up and get quality innings, as Knapschafer has done today.
Yeah, that one is blooped foul by Bassett. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike. To the catcher, who is 1 for 3 on the day, has a run scored and a walk. But that's a good point, Quinn. Last year, we saw the Bobcats kind of reshuffle when it came to starters. We saw guys like Dylan Masters get some opportunities. Of course, Luke Olson, he started a couple of games already this season. So some of these jobs can be up for grabs, especially for those midweek series games as well, where you'll get a couple of spot starts here and there every once in a while when these midweekers happen. It's a chance for guys to show, hey, coach, I deserve to start. 2-1, blooped in the air to the right side, and down for a base hit. Jackson Bassett gets himself a nice single. And he's got 2 base hits on the afternoon.
Tell you what, that was a great hit, but that was also a great work of fielding by Paulie Mancino, getting around to the ball, getting himself in a position to get a potential throw out, but Bassett wisely did not go for 2.
This takes us to Kendall Ewell. Reminder, these 2 teams will play again for the second matchup of the doubleheader in just 40 minutes after the conclusion of this game. 5-0 lead for the Flames in this one, and they look like they're in a good position.
Yeah, what a quick turnaround for both teams. You know, you got the momentum from this game, especially with a guy like AJ Hinkle, who's definitely on fire today, hoping to maybe carry that into the second game of this doubleheader.
Kendall Ewell started off his career at Eastern Kentucky before moving on to the University of Kentucky. And now with his 3rd school with UIC.
Wow. Another Kentucky guy, just like Tate back in the day. But
That's
it's
great.
cool to see these guys from bigger schools find great playing time and great success in these mid-major type areas.
It is. It's kind of crazy when you look at the baseball landscape. There's so many areas of competitive ball. You look at the National Junior College Athletic Association, the NJCAA, of course. The NAIA has some great talent. Then you move up Division III ball, Division II ball, and Division I. In the case of Knapschafer, the pitcher for Ohio, which count is 2-1, by the way, to Ewell, he transferred from Division III Ohio Northern and was fantastic over there.
Yeah, it just shows that no matter what the deck has handed to you, you can make anything out of, and you can make a big career out of a small start, basically.
That's right. That's right. I mean, in the case of Knapschafer, he started off his career where his first year got canceled due to COVID. He did make a couple of appearances, but right when the season was just getting started, COVID happened, and he wasn't able to play the rest of that freshman year, which is so big for your development.
Oh, for sure.
3-1 finds the top corner for strike number 2. But again, to have that persistence, to continue working through those times. We heard from Ben Hamilton earlier in the broadcast about the difficulties that come with having COVID when you're still trying to develop the skill of playing baseball. It's impressive that these players have been able to make it, and they're standing here right now in 2024. Runner goes, ball on the ground to the shortstop, throws it down to second base for 1. The first base, a double play for Ohio, started by J.R. Nelson. That retires the side as we head into the final frame. The Bobcats need 5 to tie it, 6 to walk it off. We'll see if they can do it when we come back on Bobcat TV. Welcome back to Bob Wren Stadium. Bottom of the ninth inning. The Bobcats, they need 5 to tie and send it to a 10th and 6 to walk it off. The man trying to shut down all hope is Versiglio on the mound, and he deals the first pitch. Fastball on the money for strike number 1. Gideon Ansel, Jackson Cawthron, and Paulie Mancino, the heart of the order, will try to keep the Bobcats alive.
Yeah, and when you look at Gideon Ansel, you look at a guy who does not strike out often. He's only struck out once this season, so getting behind an account is a very rare occurrence for a guy like Ansel. And hopefully for the Bobcats, he can start what could be known as a miraculous comeback.
Versiglio dialed in a slider with his next pitch. That one missed the zone high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gideon Ansel. Now goes back to the fastball. That one's down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. A nice little bit of a pitch mix up here. You see the fastball early, slider with the second pitch, and then back to the fastball in the lower part of the zone.
Yeah, I'm guessing the thought process there is you want to get him going quick. You want to get him expecting another fastball. Then when you mix it up by throwing an off speed, he doesn't know what to expect for that third hit.
That ball's hammered high into the air. This one is in shallow right. More like shallow right center, and A.J. Taylor makes the catch, falling backwards.
That ball had some serious hang time there. But Antle made it almost to third base at that rate. So had the height, just not the distance.
This takes us to Jackson Cawthron. Bobcats down to their final 2 outs here today. Both of these squads with 7 hits on the day. But what Quinn has continued to emphasize here, it's been about the quality of hits. There's a bunt laid down the third base side. The throw back to first base is not in time.
Wow.
Well-placed bunt, and Versiglio tried to hustle to get to it.
Yeah,
That's an infield single for Cawthron.
Yeah, when you see Ohio warming up, and both UIC, you see them both emphasizing bunting. They both heavily utilize it in their artillery, so it's nice to see it pay off in that type of way.
Here comes Paulie Mancino. He's got 1 runner on here as the Bobcats look to start a rally. The farthest the Bobcats have gotten today on the base pass has been second base. It's been total control by the pitchers of UIC. The throw down, they might have caught the runner off, but not in time. Jackson Cawthron just got back to the first base bag, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes to Paulie Mancino, looking for his first hit of the day. He's got a fielder's choice, a pop fly, and a line out. 1-0. Fastball drilled in the air, and this should be Zielinski's ball all day. Makes the catch, and that's 2 down. Bobcats down to their final out. However, in this situation, there's no guy that the Bobcats would rather have, or maybe a couple guys. It would be a tight competition between Gideon Ansel and AJ Roush, but you definitely want Roush here in this situation.
If you want power, you want Roush all the way, leading the team in home runs with 4. Had two in a game recently, just like Hinkle has done today. So Roush is definitely not a bad option to have for your last out here if you're the Bobcats.
Well, Roush, he has 9 base hits on the season. 4 of those have been home runs.
Wow, just power all day.
Count is 1 ball and no strikes to Roush, who's 1 for 3 on the afternoon. 1-0 fastball, flared in the air. Going deep to right center, Kendall Ewell makes the catch, and UIC completes the shutout on the road in Bob Wren Stadium. They win 5-0 against the Ohio Bobcats.
What a statement win to open up this series. Nothing like shutting out your opponent after a great pitching day from both Versiglio and Dylan Schuler.
So Bobcats, despite getting 8 hits today, 2 errors also cost them, as well as giving up home runs. UIC made the bats sing with 3 home runs in this game, 2 by A.J. Hinkle, and then 1 by Zane Zielinski, and also a fantastic performance by Dylan Schuler and Rigel Versiglio, who complete a complete game shutout between those 2 pitchers. Thank you for joining us here on Ohio Bobcat TV. For Ben Hamilton, Quinn Elfers, my name is Cedric Granger. Wish you a goodbye, but not for long. We'll be back in 40 minutes on a new stream for Game 2 between Ohio and UIC.